And we are back. 34 episodes without an intro. Probably 35 at least. But we are talking about Tokusatsu. We've got great episodes of Geets. We've got a great episode of Azure. And we're also speed running because we got to talk about Power Rangers once and always.
Oh man, yeah, that was.
Oof.
Can't wait to get to
Do we
that.
do that in the middle? Do we start with once and always?
Um,
Because I feel like that one's kind of one and done. There's not more theorizing after that.
I think we need a break between after talking about Gates. Like,
Okay,
so yeah,
I'm gonna go crazy on the Geets. So Geets, oof. Jamato, Rider, final boss, Gazer. So much is happening.
Yeah, we get Gazer back. We finally get to see that suit again, and
Yep.
I'm excited.
I was excited to see it fight. Man, the Buffa and Geets confrontation at the beginning was Geets just walking away like I don't even want to fight. Mood, Archimetal attacking in his new Jamato form, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jin showing up. I don't want to see Jin. The Geets I know would never let it end like this. I love that.
Yeah, it's like he's that much of a fan, and it's just
Also,
like
he incorporated the fox into the Henshin now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so fucking cute.
Yeah, he truly is a fan, and it's we all love it. And then oh man, so pretty much then we get stuff with like yeah, then it cuts to what is it? Right after the intro, it basically cuts to Archimetal like arguing with Baraba.
Yep.
And
I love like you got yourself that wench got herself hooked on a ride.
Yeah. It's so hilarious.
I love when they call her a hag, just because I love that in Japanese it's Baba. So I just love hearing them go Baba.
Yeah, it's like, dude, that's mean.
Yeah,
That's mean. And then we get more DGP history where it's like they were fighting over a gold coin.
Yep, and it used to not be deadly. It used to just maybe be like a battle for honor and vibes, and we'd get the gold coin, and then it's like, all right, well, I guess it's got a coin.
Yeah. Also, so going along with what you said last week, I saw a thing on Twitter, and I'm like, it's like, God damn it, I hate Sleepy for bringing this up, and now I have to bring it up here now.
Is it time? Will he rise in 3 days?
No, it's less that, but it's like, they were basically fighting for coins, and then someone said, I think it's Dangan Yankee on Twitter says, considering all the batshit lore thrown in the geese, I wouldn't be surprised if that coin is one of the 30 pieces of coin that was the price for which Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus.
Yeah, that's been a thought, buddy. That's been a thought.
I can't believe that yeah, they're not beating the Jesus allegations.
Beating the Jesus allegations.
I've always wanted to use that line at some point, and
no,
I had to.
It's good. I'm going, bro. I'm having a blast just thinking about Geets. My little gears are turning. We get the producer eating escargot, truly like the shortcut for opulence.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's always eating. He is eating in every scene. Like,
yeah, like it could be one of those things where like he's a future person who like doesn't eat anymore, so he's like taking his time in the past to like enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which makes sense. And it's just really funny. And then like Niram's just basically telling Geets it's like
basically you have to do this. I'm not gonna just lend you the vision driver for you to see the goddess. It's give and take.
Mm-hmm.
And we get the scene with the how long are you gonna let this far slide?
Yeah, and then Neon's dad is just angry and
yep,
like,
and he's just like, what if we just erase your memories and you could happily live with Neon as your real daughter?
Yeah. Oh man.
And he's leaving the world behind.
Yeah, like this episode moves fast, like, and then it just cuts to like Baraba and Buffa.
Yep.
And Yeah, and then we actually get a confrontation between the two of them, and they're just using essentially their base forms.
Yeah, I really like the Baroba buffer thing, especially because they're like, I just find it so funny that they're like vaguely just insulting each other. I really like
Uh
you because you're such a fucking loser.
huh. It's so good.
She's like
Yeah, like
flirting
all
with
the,
him, but also she's like negging him.
which is true.
And then it's like, that's also why we're cutting ties when you become a happy winner that I can't stand. And he's like, can't wait to be rid of you. And with
Oh
the
man,
happiness, I really love that.
yeah.
Happiness isn't even in your radar. You're definitely my type.
I just realized during the Buffa and Geese fight that one of his eyes is green now too.
Yes,
It's
I
yellow
was
and
gonna
green.
I was gonna go up that I really like that it's evolved from basically being like fully blocked out to being green. The base form fight is really cool because it's very I there's something really cool about specifically Rider where you get a bunch of different forms and the fights where you start at the base form and you basically gradually evolve during the fight. You know?
Mhm.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
like
cooler than seeing him, Geet start Magnum to boost to eventually Fox to
or as I like to
Laser.
call it, the toy commercial.
Yeah, but I really like
It's
them. They're
sick
cool
though. It's sick
fights.
though.
They're so sick.
Yeah,
I fucking
and then,
love my. I think one of my favorite was because I really like just the transformation way they do it for what's it called Gaim and all of the
mm,
ones, especially that final battle where we go Gaim and Baron and it's like fruit form and then we go but
yeah, it just grows and
it
grows and
grows.
grows,
And
and
seeing the scene where Geets uses the Bucky Buffa sword against it.
yeah, it's so good. And then it looks like he loses. It looks like he loses, and then don't never trust the fox. And he starts shooting from under the rubble. I'm like,
Yeah, I really like that because if you when you go back and you look at it, you're like, I win, and he pulls out the driver, and you see him immediately shoot, and he had the Magnum under the driver the whole time.
yeah, it's it's so good. Yeah, like I just love this. And then he finally gets to see his mom,
We're
or
done
at least
here.
got his.
Oof. The mom seat is sad. The mom seat is depressing. And the thing that gets me is when Baroba's like, "Will you play this how I think I will?" I was like, "Oh no, this is within expectations."
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, and of course Niram shows up and is like yelling about
You know,
all this stuff.
she became our goddess. This is the reality that the goddess willed. And then she's like crying, and I love how the crying sounds like a fox, like in pain.
Hmm.
And, I think that will do for your moving reunion. And he transforms into Gazer. Geets
Yeah,
transforms
Gazer's
into.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, watching Gazer fight is so cool because it really is like the I'm too good for you to be fighting.
Yeah.
He's just
Uh
fucking going at it. Uh, Fox form isn't enough to deal with it. Uh, all of the colors of the color of hell is bright colors, so like 90% of people just die instantly.
yeah. But yeah, we see the game is still going. The game is still going. But man, I just love how Gazer is like absurdly like defensive. Like
Yep.
he
I also
doesn't
thought it was
really
really
attack. He
funny
just
that fucking Geets managed to like catch one of the balls and like throw it at him.
yeah.
I still really love the Gazer and Glare Mask with the fucking grasshopper. We go back
Yeah.
to using the fact that Geets can't handle Fox on his own.
Mhm. And then yeah, Zin helps him out by throwing the laser rays. Like it's like I should be a fan, but wait, actually I think he says like I was a fan of the DGP, right? I
Yep,
think
but he's a
that's
fan
what
of
he says.
Geets more. And then
Yeah.
we honestly we had to see a really sick fight like in between the walls of the city. And
Yeah.
right as they're about to like finish it off, we're gonna see who wins. We get fucking zombie strike, the hands strike down and take them underneath.
Yeah,
Instantly.
that was, oh man, so I actually watched that raw and I'm like, they have guts. They have guts. We have like at least 15 episodes left, but man, I
Yeah.
did not expect them to actually have Buffa win that way.
Buffa wins, and I like it because they were stressing, of basically the ring out scenario, and he did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he won. It wasn't by being stronger. It was by having a plan and by using, he used the fucking technique to edge guard him, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And the craziest part about it too is that he wins both drivers out of it too, which is
Which
the
means they can
craziest
use,
part.
which means that he can use the goddess, which means he's about to get his wish granted.
Yeah,
His ideal world, the power to get rid of all common riders. So the world
yeah,
resets. A bunch of the Jamatos come back. And
yeah,
then we
and
get the last Jamato standing will be crowned Jamaiti and will be granted their ideal world. And then it fades
exactly.
away and is
Yeah,
the purpose of this game is to defeat all common riders.
yeah. It goes from the JGP to the Desire Royale. Like that is so sick. And it's like an eye. There's like a crow skull in the background. And then
I love the mask for
but
this new game master, bro. That shit looks sick.
And it doesn't even end there, because we get a post credits with the game master showing up, and I'm like, oh,
yep. And then we get the common rider culling commence, and we have like a King Buffa form.
Yep,
with the big horns, and it's sick. I love it.
Yeah, but the best part though, everyone's like saying, "Man, Toei's giving us what we want. We're getting our boys actually doing a Henshin sequence." Because Neon's bodyguards.
Neon's bodyguards bringing it in.
Mm-hmm.
We also get to see Miram use the worm again, which I think is super fucking funny.
Yep. Also, the funniest part too is that Neon just walked away from the game, but Neon's still
is still here, which means Neon can still win. So
yeah, and then fighting against Zin. Yeah, so it's actually really interesting that we're gonna be getting I don't know how long the episode is going to be without him, but we're getting an episode without Ace or Kawa, and oh man, I wonder how that's going to go.
Yeah, I'm excited. Now, okay, so we were talking. He's not beating the Jesus allegations. So 3 days, man. Will he rise in 3 days? That's the real question. Does that mean 3 episodes? Does that mean 3 days of in-game time or in show time? We'll see, but I'm gonna be waiting on the 3 days thing. The secondary thing, going back to my specific prediction, because the whole thing is, okay, they can humans of the past and humans of the futures cannot have kids together. Mitsume used her powers basically to create Geet, to create Ace. So Ace was technically, I would say, even in that case, he was probably basically the equivalent of a virgin birth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so far we have gotten no what's it called, confirmation on a dad of any sort. Probably exists somewhere in the future. All I can think about is the producer his dad.
I mean, you've been saying that.
I've been saying that they've been related, but now I'm like, is he his dad? And was it literally the vibe that she fell in love with him? She decided to use her to show him her powers to have a kid, and then he saw the powers and started using them for the DGP and had her captured.
Who knows?
And he's he's basically his dad, in spirit only, because obviously she made him with world making powers, kind of. But that's currently where I'm at. We'll see in 3 days of something, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and after that, everyone's thinking that the ninja is actually Kawa's sister as well too.
Dude, that's what I'm thinking. That'd be so sick. I originally thought that's what was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh man!
I originally thought when Kawa was dying in that first arc that he lost, I thought his sister was gonna pick up the tycoon thing. So I'm excited to see that. But once and always.
Man, okay, so my review of it honestly was that, other than the CG Megazord, which I'm not allowed to complain about, since Dawn Brothers, but it literally felt like an old episode. It was so cheesy.
It did.
We got hip hop keto.
I have the same complaint about the Megazord. I think if they were trying to really go, I think they should have had a suit fight. I think they should have done it, but I get, why
Yeah,
they would do
apparently the
it
producer said
CG
that they didn't have time
to film a
to build
suit
a
fight.
set. Yeah,
Yeah.
to film a suit fight and have a set for it. But yeah, they would have done it. But yeah, we didn't. But other than that, though, like it felt like a classic
It
episode.
was it was so it was so cheesy. I loved the vibes. The explosions of the fights were good. It went really hard, really fast.
Yeah, it did.
Trinity just fucking explodes, and then they're just like, "Oh my god!" They're like, "We have to tell her mom was killed by Rita Repulsa." Oh,
And then Min's already right there and like, what?
yep.
And like,
And
yeah,
then immediate time skip. We see her training. She's angry. The powers don't work because she's trying to use it to get revenge. But also, I think it's also really funny that like she's like, "Let me fight," and they're like, "No, you can't be fighting." And he's like, "You guys were 15 when you started fight. You guys were just
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Don't be
That
hypocrite."
call out made me laugh so hard. 'Cause I'm
That
like,
was
that's what we're all
that
thinking.
was so
That's what
good.
we're all thinking.
That
Yeah.
was I would say my only vibe. Just I don't know. The only thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is they used a lot of putties, and especially seeing like Billy get beat up by all the putties at the very beginning. You're kind of like, okay, but it's been 10 years. They should be sweeping putties. But I get it. We're going classic, and the rest of the episode or the special was so cute. Again, obviously it had to be done for story reasons. Seeing like basically Jason, Kim, and Tommy get captured like insta capture.
Yeah. No, they did a really good job using archive audio too. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That itself wasn't bad. No complaints. I again seeing them like that sucked. Uh, they kind of explained it with the Billy thing, but like I'm just like, why is he green again? He should be why? Because
yeah.
they're using the fake everyone got the dino morpher powers. I get that, and I know that this is vaguely canon to the comics where him and Cat have JJ as their son, so I know he's got the master morpher in that. Uh, but yeah, that it was one of the things where like we knew they were returning for the special anyway, and so it was just they had to get him out basically. I do
Yeah.
think it was funny they got turned into basically the Lightning Collection figures because I'm like, yo, they're using the toys. This is just like Tokusatsu.
Exactly. It was like everything about it was just so cheesy. And I'm like, I love this so much. Like
They also
it
did
was
such a good
super
job with
cute.
some of the explosions. That intro one where they're all running towards you and the thing explodes behind them, and then we get the logo. I'm like, yes, baby.
Yes, yeah.
A bunch of the
Yeah.
fights were really cool. I really liked seeing the Trin fight or what's
Min.
it called? Min fight. Whenever she's fighting without the morpher, the putties, and the thing, that was pretty cool. Like you said,
Oh,
the hip hop.
What was actually super cool about that was that we actually see her training with Kali sticks like earlier, and she actually does do that with the broken mop for a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't come up that much, but it was very cool. I really dig the whole vibe. Trini basically going on a revenge quest. Honestly, I get it, but like, man, she was harsh to Billy midway through. Like, if you wasn't for you, my mom would still be here. Stings, huh? Fucking better. And I'm like, damn, this girl's going hard.
Yeah, like it's like I said, it's so cheesy. It felt like a very special episode as well too, just like Power Rangers.
Yeah, I did. It was
Man, the shout out of Bulk and Skull with Use Your Skull buy in bulk. That poster made me smile so much.
I really liked that. I wish they were in this, but
yeah,
there was already a lot to juggle. Oh man, yeah, everything was cool. We get Rocky and Cat back for the red and pink.
Oh man, dude, Barbara Goodson, like we know that she's been acting and voice acting since over the last 30 years, but man, it sent me back just hearing her do her Rita voice. Like, it's so good.
Oh yeah, the Rita voice is good. I'll say if there's one complaint, I didn't vibe with the Robo Rita design that much. Like,
Yeah,
it just I didn't vibe with it as much. I feel like they could have done something that I would have liked more. But hey, that's a personal preference thing,
But the idea of Robo Rita being Alpha 8, that was super. That was actually pretty interesting.
Alpha 8 was good. Yeah, I mean, in general, I really
Yeah,
liked it.
like
Again, if I had to have a complaint, is like I wish they could have had a suit fight. Obviously, they didn't have time for the
yeah.
set, so I'm not going to be super mad about that. It was
Mm.
perfectly cheesy, perfectly campy, like kind of dumb, but in all the right places. The
Exactly.
hip
Like it
hop
was.
keto again, chef's kiss. That was so good. He still
Yeah.
got it. He still got the moves.
Yeah.
The
Zach
fact
Walter
that
Jones,
Zach,
like he still
leaves.
looks amazing.
Oh yeah,
Like
him and
and
Billy both look great.
actually, all of them did.
Yeah, I was
All
say
the
all of them.
returners. Yeah.
All of them look amazing. All of them fight amazingly. It was all cool. Seeing when they do the actual like it's morphin time and we see them in a little bit. I'm like, oh, so fucking cool. Um,
Yeah.
and then the only other thing is I wish for the like killing blow on Robo Rita they could have done the like the bringing the weapons together for the cannon. That would
Yeah.
have maybe
True.
been my one thing. I loved the little like uh, Min sacrifices herself, and that's how she for Billy as well, and that's how she gets access to the morphing grid by showing that she can sacrifice herself, and she gets to see the memories of her mom
Mhm.
through the morpher
That
basically,
was
and it
great.
was a cute little cool little dedication for her.
Yeah.
Um,
And the ending though, and the ending, like with like say it's like telling stories about my mom, and like, oh man,
yeah, we gotta tell you.
it's almost like asking you like, hey, want to rewatch the series so you can actually see Trini again, like.
Yeah, and again, that was another line that I thought was very cute, but also it was like I feel like he would have, but yeah, because after after that year, they would have known about the power. She would have known about it, so I would have assumed that he would have already told them. But it was very cute. I really love the Zach ends up adopting her basically.
Yeah.
Uh, it's cute. It was sweet. It was good. I really liked it. And then
Yeah.
the little tribute at the end for
Hmm.
the actors for both Trini and for Tommy was I got those tears in my eyes. Oof,
Yeah.
that was that was rough, but also I really loved the ending sequence where they basically show the like everyone David Yost as Billy, and then they show like the old version, and then it transforms into the new version, and then it transforms into blue.
Yeah.
Or the
It's like they haven't missed a step essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was so cool. Uh, yeah, my only thing would have been, I wish maybe we'd seen a little small cameo, more small cameos from the like other Ranger teams. It was funny that like a bunch of teams got captured, and you see like Dino Thunder White got captured. You're like, oh no, Rip Trent.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't really watch much Power Rangers, like after I think Turbo, so I actually don't remember much of it. So
I will
yeah.
tell you that for me, I think it was. I basically watched through. So after Turbo, it was Space, Lost Galaxy, and then I think that's after where I didn't watch it for a bit, and I basically came back for like Wild Force and Ninja Storm, and then Dino Thunder, and then
Mm,
I watched a bunch more. I told you, I've watched a bunch of Power Rangers, so But anyway, we gotta keep
yeah.
going because
Yeah,
we're
yeah, from Power Rangers and now back to Super Sentai.
yep.
Yeah. See, I told you we needed a break after Buffa's win.
Buffa's win was intense. I still love this one extra who is giving it his all during basically all of the trial stuff. You guys,
So,
I love that the kids are all like protesting for gear, and he's just like, "You kids need to stop siding with that criminal." He's just
so,
got out. I love this guy. I,
so someone like joked around and like said that like he will never be as much of a hater as our favorite Hitotsuki from Dawn Brothers, the one that turns into 4 different ones. You'll never be as much of a hater.
we don't know that yet. Okay,
Yeah.
it's still
Uh
that early episode.
yeah. Yeah, then after that we get Kaguragi like proposing the trial by combat, like he's just acting as like a goofy advisor at this
I
point, and it's
I
great.
love him. I love that we switched to Yanma and he's basically leading like a fucking
Talking about
delinquents.
haters.
Yeah, a delinquent's charge. Kira, make a fool out of. And we've got like the delinquent like cheer squad. I fucking love this shit.
Yeah,
I love how we actually have the the like traditionally dressed like cheer squad guys in the background where they've got the pants and like the sash and stuff on, and they're
actually
holding the flag.
Even him, he's actually wearing the long jacket instead of like his,
he's wearing the cheer squad shit, bro. I'm vibing with it.
It's so good.
It's so funny because he's the one who's like, "Oh, so we're finally friends." But now look at him.
It's so funny. And then we see Kaguragi and Himeno and like basically like we're actually getting a little bit more backstory about like what the Fear to Gods was and how Kaguragi
and apparently
about how Shugadam did nothing.
And apparently it was their Shugad who could have done something, but they just didn't. Yeah. So that's another vibe.
Yeah. And then like pretty much we're basically seeing a lot of scenes like it's still taking a while, but Rita like feels really shackled by being Justice.
Yeah.
Like
again, that's I think I said this to you before. The only thing that feels not great about that is the fact that I feel like if you're Justice, the moment you see someone threatening the children, you're like, okay, you're arrested, go to fucking jail.
Yeah, but it's probably like saying it's like we have to go this far for a criminal, and it's like yeah, it's like the law can't they are just shackled by the law.
Yep. And then we get like, some cool stuff with Bugnarok.
Yep, like pretty much we have like an invisible one, like getting angry over how they're losing the gods.
But he can transform, so he goes off.
Yeah, and after that, like, and then Rita's like also questioning the kidnapping as well too. It's like, what is and like, no, exactly, like right there. If the scales are Justice are skewed, they need correction.
Yep.
Like,
so it seems like she wants to get him on like a bigger charge, and I get that. It's just, but anyway, I love the fucking gear. It's like, you think I'm gonna give up a chance to fight?
It's so funny.
He's literally been trying to fight. It's so funny because the entire time everyone's been like, "Let me turn you in," and he's like, "Yeah, bring me back," and no one did for the longest time.
It's so funny. And after that, and then we see Kaguragi like basically like selling the God Scorpion poison to Rakles.
Oh yeah,
like, just overacting it. It's so good.
It's so good. I love, bro. The koi fish killing, that thing went hard because they made it like the fucking you see all the water like splash around. You see the water like turns black. Which obviously that's a good way to do it without actually killing a koi fish. But it also really sells that like, bro, this poison will kill you.
Yeah.
Also,
after that, we see the wagers, the match starts. We see the wagers, like you'll be stuck in a cell. I wander through. It's like Lord of the Sugar.
Yeah. I really dig the vibes for that because even with this, he is. Supposedly like a man-made Azure that is made to like lord over the beings that are supposed to be the god.
Yeah.
Oh, cool god, Azure.
Yeah, and then Rita is like gets pulled back by the guards, like when they're supposed to be watching over, and we sees the other three kings. Like I said, Rita like is not allowed to take action, like to basically like uphold the law, but the other three are just like just being all sneaky as hell, like doing everything they can. Like they are they are really fond of Gira at this point. It's really great.
Yep.
And then I love the little like chibi, like,
the Gira is mine like chibi fight. That was very, very cute. Where they play it all out. I always love when they do this. I feel like they exaggerated the proportions the perfect amount. It's just an anesthetic. So it's like, yeah. All the little effects for it were so cute. And we're just like, we're collecting a body over here. Don't worry about it. I just love the specific screenshots they used for their faces as well.
It's so good. And then you get your favorite realizing that he forgot to he doesn't know if he switched the poison for the anesthetic or not.
Hooray. Yeah, I love that. My favorite part is like he's playing it like that, but you know this motherfucker did that on purpose.
Exactly. It's so, he's
I just love how
so
he's just
funny.
like, oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then he just starts blinking uncontrollably. It's like, did you give him the real aspect?
Yeah, and as someone pointed out, like, then we get a scene switch, and yes, we finally get a no budget fight in the quarry.
I love the query fight. I love that. Yeah, I love that we get like a like a fighting game scene break where he does just get like chucked off the side.
Yeah. Oh man, and then he confronts him, like saying, "Was I really kidnapped, or did you get rid of me so that so you could have the throne?" And it's like, ooh.
Yep, that you were so scared of me even as a kid that you had to go through all of this.
Yeah, and then he basically tries a final attack, and then Giro just steps up and goes freaking ham.
Yeah, I love. There's something so cool about that final Lord attack, and you just see Gira just stands in the middle, like dodged it or whatever. It's so sick. Gira goes ham. They're finally even, but
the fight gets interrupted by Yanma, and then we see that, and then this is messed up, and I hate Raklis so much for this. Like, he's basically cradling. He's cradling Yanma
because he just goes and he just kills Yanma instantly with the fucking poison.
Yeah, but the feed cuts out, but then it comes back in. Where after the Yanma turns into a Bugnarok, and of course we see our favorite extra. He was saving a Bugnarok.
He truly is evil, and this stuff has me thinking. First of all, the implications for him working with Bugnarok are now higher than ever, or something's going on with him and Bugnarok, because he knew that wasn't the like. Pickles is crazy, but he would not kill the actual king, and it looks like it really is his plan to kill Gira. But yeah, that's my favorite extra. Whoa. And then the real Yama shows up and sees him, and his like jaw drops, and he just looks down.
Yeah,
and it's the invisible Bugnarok from the beginning of the episode.
Yep. And then the fight basically ends after like a small fight scene against like a bunch of grunt Bugnarok as well too. And then Gira's lost, but he wakes up and like he's like, how does it feel when you almost died? But it's really nice, like all the other kings like basically supported him, and they're like, it's like, no,
well, all the other kings
stay dead.
I'm gonna be honest, all the other kings have said Dabowski. We don't know what that man's doing right now.
Yeah,
someone is working with Bugnarok in this case. I don't know if it's Dabowski who's planning this shit with the like Bugnarok Emperor somehow, and like that's what's going on. Dabowski also did something. He snuck into the castle and he saw something, and we don't know what. We don't know if this was all a distraction. We don't know if this is a Bugnarok thing. But he gets asking. It really sucks because he was bringing it back, but then he got distracted. Also, it really does help because I was like, we saw the preview and we saw the scene of Yama running with like, and I'm like, I wonder what that's about. That seems really weird for him to do.
And it was way funnier than we could have expected.
Oh yeah.
And then before this preview, we see the Bugnarok coming in. He's about to summon O King Ojiro, and then we get saved by Kamen Rider Ichigo. I mean, God Bata, the grasshopper.
God Bata is coming in. Grasshopper makes sense for the final god. I hadn't been keeping up with it. They've talked about, we've seen him already, but I do like the design for it. He looks pretty sick. Can't wait to see it. We got a lot of things going on next episode. He's taking King Oger. Stuff may cause friction with the other kings. We see a bunch of fightings, and then you see Gira like
he's hiding as one of the Kuroko, as one of Kaguragi's assistants.
Yeah, and at some point he goes to try to do something, and like Rita knocks him out from behind. And we see King Oger. Like that's King Oger. That's not King Oger. So at some point he forms King Oger.
Yeah,
I feel like knowing Gira, it's gonna be another one of like, he wouldn't be stupid enough to come out now.
It's so good. Oh man. And then my final thoughts on this episode is that, like, and like especially with the next episode preview as well too. I really love how they just keep switching kingdoms. Like I
Oh
love
yeah.
how we're seeing every kingdom like every episode. It's pretty great.
I love how we're swapping locations. I love how we're doing different things. King Rackles is also looking for Gira's body, so that's gonna be a whole different thing. Well,
Yeah,
we'll see.
it's gonna
Right
be
now we're at
great.
a place where I'm not entirely sure where we're going.
Yeah,
I
and apparently soon like in the next couple of episodes, in about a month we should be seeing our extra ranger as well too, our official extra ranger. So there's
Yeah,
that too.
and I'm wondering if it's gonna be like a bad guy ranger because I mean the guy who was in charge of the Fury of the Gods thing was writing the Fly Beelzebub. If we're gonna get like an evil Fly Ranger, it's like the
I.
the
I,
big.
I, I I I know the identity, but I'm gonna keep it a secret since
Ooh.
since you don't keep up on the spoilers like I do.
Yeah, I keep up on random stuff. I'll see it if I see it. I see it. But for the time
Okay.
being, let me keep it fresh on that thing.
Exactly. Yeah, no, yeah, that's why I ask you every. No, okay, cool. I'm shutting up.
But hey, that's how it is. And hey, I appreciate it. Okay, we're doing. I'm just busy sometimes. Can't keep up with all that stuff all the time. Uh, but with that, we ran slightly over, but we didn't run over that much. This has been half hour Henshin talking about the current stuff in Toku. Thank you so much for listening. I don't think why we introduced ourselves. As always, I've been Sleepy Witch, and my co-host has been.
DJ Azure, the 2.5D hero Talkatuber.
Goodbye.
Later.
This program is brought to you by.
Our unending love of Tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
you can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.